If you were my friend and you were to come to me and tell me that you'd experienced some form of sexual abuse, and you were to ask me, did I think that you should go and find some kind of therapy? My answer would be yes. Yes, because I would want the best for you. Yes, because given the choice, I would much rather you had too much support than too little. Many people who experience sexual abuse can struggle to ask for help. They can think that what happened to them doesn't count. They can think that what happened to them was their fault, so they don't deserve any help. They can think that because what happened was so many years ago, they should be over it by now, and why would they risk shaking things up and maybe making things worse? It's true that everybody who experiences sexual abuse finds some way of coping. They do the best they can to look after themselves and get on with their lives. But there can be a big difference between coping and living. Sometimes it takes someone else to point out to you how small and restricted your world has become in your efforts to cope with your experience. I think a good example of this can be sexual intimacy. Sex after sexual abuse could be difficult for everyone, and it can be an example of an area of your life that you've given up on. If you were my friend, I would want you to have a life that is as full as it would have been if you hadn't had this experience. I want the same for you too. Asking for help isn't easy. It can be frightening. It can mean talking about something that maybe you've never talked about before. It can mean recognizing that what happened to you was real and that it's still affecting you today. I think a lot of people can also be reluctant to seek therapy for sexual abuse because they think that in the therapy they're going to have to talk about their abuse in great detail from the very beginning all the way through to the end. It's true that talking about what you've experienced may form part of your therapy, but it's a relatively small part, and it's certainly not where you need to begin. Therapy is much more about learning to cope with today and finding a way of becoming the person you want to be tomorrow. If getting therapy straight away feels like too much for you, then try something smaller. Maybe just phone a helpline. I've volunteered on a helpline before. It's perfectly okay to phone the number and say to the person at the other end of the line, you know what, today I just promised myself that I would make the call, but I'm not ready to speak to you today. So I'm going to hang up and I hope that I phone you again soon. I promise you, they will understand. If you're not sure whether or not you deserve therapy or whether or not you're ready, please read my book, The Courage to Be Me, because I created it for you. You can read the whole book on my website. I hope it helps you find the courage that you need to get the help that you deserve.